So guys, through my company, Whitetail Land Management Services, I kind of have like a motto or something that tries to set me apart from other people that are out there doing habitat management work. And that is, I like to hunt all the states in which I service clients. Is it necessary to maybe hunt every single state? Probably not. But the reason I do it is to have experience in those states. The flatlands of Kansas are different than the big woods of Wisconsin, and the big woods of Wisconsin has different topography and different structure than Iowa might, versus the east, versus the west. I mean, it's all different all over the map. Thankfully, through having that mindset and having that scheme or that game plan when it comes to my business, it's allowed me to hunt a lot of different places, almost every state in the Midwest, and some outranging in the West, some ranging a little bit east. Over the course of hunting and even living in some of these different states, I've learned a lot about these states from a deer hunting perspective. And I've learned that some of these states are maybe talked about a little too highly as far as the deer population goes, or the quality of deer. And maybe some of these states are underrated. Now, we've talked about maybe some underrated states in different videos, and maybe some of the best states to hunt for public land, or states in which you want to buy land in. Today I want to go over the most overrated state in the country for whitetails, according to me. This state is actually one that I grew up in. I moved away for a while. I moved again, and finally decided to move back for family reasons and different reasons. But the state of Wisconsin, in my opinion, is the most overrated state when it comes to whitetails. A lot of people, a lot of Wisconsinites right now are looking at me with parcels out in Buffalo County or Southwest Wisconsin, different parts of Wisconsin. They're saying, what is this guy talking about? I got 150s, 160s, 170s, 200-inch deer on camera. Now, putting the whole state in one breadbasket in one category is hard. I do understand that, and I know that some of you out there will likely slide in the DMs and send me pictures of 200-inch deer in Wisconsin. Yes, I do know they exist. Yes, I do know they can be killed. I myself have mega giants for the areas in which I'm hunting on camera, but it is, in my opinion, still very overrated. Why is it overrated? The thing about statistics and killing mature bucks and Boone and Crockett bucks in the state of Wisconsin is those results are generally very skewed, because we're getting a lot of our mature buck harvest and Boone and Crockett deer harvest in certain locations, very small locations, 1 to 2, maybe 3 counties out of 72 counties. So that can skew the results or skew the information when looking at, hey, the best states to go into and hunt. You're looking for that out-of-state hunt. You're looking for a place to go buy land. You're thinking Wisconsin, the top state for Boone and Crockett bucks. It has to be the best place to go hunt. Maybe in some areas, but in majority, not the case. I've hunted every single corner of this state, and for the most part, it can be very, very challenging, tough hunting. Why? The problem with Wisconsin, and we could go into DNR topics and management topics, the lack of antler restrictions, being able to hunt longer stretches during gun season, during prime times of the year. Maybe it's just the way the state agency handles certain issues, the information being skewed due to these high Boone and Crockett counties, all these different things. But the one issue that I think is not going to be resolvable in the state of Wisconsin is the fact that people own smaller parcels. Why does that matter? Well, first and foremost, Wisconsin has one of the highest hunting populations in the country. It's within the top 3 to top 4. And for that reason, it is harder to get on board with all of your neighbors to manage for a certain deer herd, certain caliber of deer, especially when a state agency does not institute any rules or laws that make you do so, whether it's an antler restriction or a spread restriction or anything like that, like some other states tend to do, even on certain public ground areas or different things like that. The problem is everybody in the state of Wisconsin, for the most part, owns these 20 to 40 acre parcels. So how do you compete with neighbors, 8 neighbors, versus a state like Iowa or Missouri or Illinois, who on average has a parcel size of 120 acres, 200 acres, 300 acres, 400 acres. It's a hard thing to do, and no matter what we do as a state, we're never going to completely turn into an Iowa. We're never going to turn into a Kentucky. We're never going to turn into one of those top states because we can't get rid of hunters. And quite frankly, we don't want to get rid of hunters anyway. So even if we were to go in there and have these state agencies change a lot of rules, turn us to a 1-buck state, and antler restrictions, those things obviously will not hurt. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of hunters. So if we factor that in along with, you know, the data being skewed based on the county in which you hunt in or where you are, at the end of the day, those things are never going to change. The whole issue of how many hunters there are in Wisconsin and the average size parcel that they own. And for that reason, along with the pressure that you see for those reasons, guys, I can't help but to believe that Wisconsin has to be one of the most overrated states for hunting whitetail bucks in this country.